Let me ask you something. When was the last time you learned something new? Not because you had to, but because you wanted to. If you're struggling to remember, you're not alone. Life gets busy, routine takes over, and suddenly the idea of learning feels exhausting. But here's the thing. Without learning, we stop growing. And when we stop growing, we feel stuck. Professionally, personally, even emotionally. In this video, we'll explore how to break free from that cycle, find your motivation, and make lifelong learning a part of your life starting today. Because the most successful, fulfilled people, they never stop learning. Hey guys, my name is Markeith and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, one of the topics I focus on is self-development and personal improvement. And in this day and age, it is something that people strive for, and it's a very big topic of conversation these days. I feel like a lot of people may be feeling lost, stuck, or confused on where to go within their life path and journey, and that's why this video is here to help clear out any of the mental fog you may be feeling and kind of give you a rough path to go along and guide you on your lifelong learning journey. We're going to focus on the meaning and also the motivation to keep you going even when the times get rough, and keeping a clear head and your motivations and reasons at the forefront. This video is going to be broken into 4 parts so I can take you through the very beginning all the way to the end, which will have action steps and ways to improve your quality of life so you can see improvements in whatever domain of life that you want to move forward in. So with all of that being said, let's get into today's video. For the first part of this video, I want to focus on what is the meaning of lifelong learning. So we're going to start with a basic, easy textbook definition, which states, lifelong learning is the ongoing, voluntary, and self-motivated pursuit of knowledge, skills, and experiences for personal or professional growth. One of the things that I really want to highlight is the ongoing part. Lifelong learning isn't a destination, it's a journey. And so some of the key characteristics that make it different that I want to highlight is that it's self-directed, so it's driven by your own curiosity and natural wonder of the world, and this curiosity will be a big driving, motivating factor for you to continue learning whatever you're choosing to study about. It also can be formal and informal, so going down the formal route, you can do online courses and workshops, and going down the informal route, you're going to be reading books, doing podcasts, watching documentaries, and things of that nature. And another characteristic is that it is very dynamic. So the things that you're learning about when you're 50 are going to be vastly different than the things that you're learning when you're 20. So I'm very interested to see how my learning style and topics are going to change versus now in my 20s, then later on in my 50s, which I think is really cool. To really drive the point home, I think it's important to compare lifelong learning with traditional learning. Traditional learning is very goal-oriented and linear, such as get this degree or make this grade on this test, where lifelong learning is a lot more unstructured and unpredictable, and it more so focuses on the mastery, personal growth, and development rather than the credentials. Some practical examples within the professional space would be learning a new line of code or learning a new project management technique. Within your personal life, it could be photography, cooking, any type of physical hobby. I mean, the options are limitless, and there's a lot of practical things within your life that could help you achieve this, such as watching documentaries, joining clubs, things of that nature, and really finding community within whatever topic you're searching after. Also, I would like to highlight that lifelong learning doesn't always have to be attached to something professional. It can be something that you wholeheartedly enjoy and have an interest in. It's more so about learning something completely new, and if anything falls within that category, it qualifies as lifelong learning. Rolling into the second part of this video, we're going to focus on why it matters. This is going to be a core foundation of your lifelong learning motivation and something that you keep close to you to remind you of why you're doing this and to keep pushing forward even when you feel like quitting. So the first reason for why it matters is adapting to a changing world. As we know, technology is rapidly evolving at a rate that we've never witnessed within our history, and it's very important to stay aware of what's happening in the world, trends, and how your knowledge can help give you an edge and adapt where there is a lot of uncertainty in this world. And because of all this technology, social media has risen and increased globalization. So lifelong learning can really help you understand different people and cultures and just connect with people on a different level. There's also personal enrichment. Having this curiosity and knowledge and thirst to want to be better and know more lets you discover parts of yourself that you may have not even known that were there, or that you've completely lost throughout your life journey. And it really redefines who you are as a person and what you stand for and want to go after. So it leads to deeper layers of yourself and an understanding of who you are as a person, which I think is one of the most rewarding things out there. Another big factor is your mental health. Just like muscles and working out, if you don't exercise them, they're going to decay. And the same thing goes for your mind. You need to exercise your mind and challenge it to work out those parts of the brain that it craves to keep active. So by learning, studying, doing challenging tasks, you're constantly pushing your brain to become stronger and not letting it decay, because this has been proven scientifically to help reduce, mental health issues such as Alzheimer's as we get older and age. And one of the most exciting things is empowerment and enrichment. There is nothing like being able to take the knowledge that you've learned and apply it to your life and get the results that you want. It is something that is extremely satisfying, because that information is weaponized and turned into something that is valuable for you. And that's the part with learning that just seems like there is no limit. You can take in so much information and change your life within a matter of months and years. And when you look back on it, it will be, without a doubt, one of the single best decisions you have ever made. And so having those reasons at the forefront can really motivate you to keep pushing even when you may want to quit and don't see an end in sight. We are now going into part 3 of this video, where it's going to get a little spicy, because we are going to talk about the consequences if you ignore lifelong learning. The first one being limited personal growth. You can never be the person you want to be if you are not learning. So let me just make a simple connection. If you're not learning, you're not growing, and if you're not growing, you will never achieve that life or be the person that you want to be. So that's something that people just need to understand and drill into their mind. Without learning, you can never achieve those goals and aspirations that you want to. So let's just make that very clear. So you will always be confined to a certain quality of life by not learning and staying within this bubble and limiting your growth as an individual. Humans naturally want to evolve and become the best version of themselves on an individual level and also as a race. And without learning and trial and error, that can never be achieved. And limited personal growth just leads to a life full of hollowness, sadness, and frustration. So if you're feeling lost about your path, one of the cures could be learning, picking up a topic that you have an interest in and just pushing forward and using trial and error. If it doesn't work, move on to the next, toss it to the side, and keep pushing forward. But if you're not learning, you are limiting your personal development massively, and it's just something that you need to push and dive forward through nose first. Our second consequence to if you ignore lifelong learning is poor adaptation to change. I've met numerous people throughout my life where they just hate change and they cannot stand it. Whether it's a small change or a big change, it doesn't matter. For them, any type of change makes it feel like their world is crumbling around them. And a big attributing factor to that is because of the uncertainty. If you're not knowledgeable and you're not a big problem solver, any change and shift within your routine and comfort zone is going to shake you to your core. And so being unaware of the obstacles and things out there and not having the abilities to problem solve actively is really going to destroy your confidence. And a lot of people within this stage, they'll just do nothing, which is the worst thing that you can do, because your issues just compound and compound and become worse, and suddenly you've dug yourself in such a deep hole that you almost feel like you can't get out of. But Even if you feel like you're in a hole, I will tell you, you can make it through. It just may be a lot harder for you to get out of there. But just know it is possible, and there are people out there that can support you. And if you've landed on this video, that is why we are here today. Our third consequence is cognitive decline. Like I stated before in the second part, is if you're not working the muscles in your brain, they are going to deteriorate and you are going to not be as mentally agile as someone who's consistently learning and on top of their game. You need to feed your brain challenges and things to overcome and new information to keep that mental agility and be able to make connections, see patterns, and just be very quick-witted, especially as we age. Because as we know, within our mental health and within our physical health, if we're not exercising things, they're not being challenged, and without being challenged, there is no growth. We're now on the fourth part of this video, which is the most exciting because it's the actionable part, and it is steps to change. I'm going to give you 3 steps that you can change and modify as you go through your journey and you learn new lessons. This is where the lifelong learning meaning and the lifelong learning motivation are going to come together within our first step, and that is identify your why. At the end of the day, everyone needs a core reason to hold on to, or reasons to keep them pushing forward, whether it's for professional growth, getting a raise, providing for your family, location, financial freedom, whatever it is your reason alone, and only you can judge it. And so I want you to take a pen and paper, a Google Doc, whatever it is, and keep your list of reasons close to you so you can reference it in times of hardships where you may be doubting your abilities and skills, and it will really push you forward and remind you on why you were on this journey. And that it's not meant to be easy, it's meant to challenge you, but if you get through it and you end up on the other side, it is the most rewarding thing ever. Our second step is start small and consistent. This is the biggest thing that really stops people within their journey, is because they start way too big in the beginning. So I'm going to give you an analogy. We're going to start with someone trying to run a marathon. If you're someone who has never ran consistently or ran to those great lengths, trying to get up one day and run a marathon is going to be very challenging, if not impossible. So what you want to do is start small and consistent. Break down that larger goal into smaller actionable tasks. A good example would be to, within 1 week, add a small task that you know you can complete, and once you prove to yourself throughout that week that you've done it consistently, add just a little bit more the following week. And as the weeks go on, make it progressively more challenging. And then over time, you'll be able to build yourself up to that big challenge that you want to accomplish and overcome. But the big core reason to remember from this is start small and stay consistent with your growth, because over time, that will lead to the biggest gains and growth that you could imagine. Our third and final step is to stay engaged and stay accountable. For this, you really want to have maybe a progress folder or something that really breaks down what you've done and the progress you've made over time. Whether it's accountability partner, journaling, whatever it is, you need some type of method to keep yourself accountable and make sure you're on the right course. You don't want to be walking blindly without no type of awareness of any progress that you've made, because that is just one way to get stuck in an endless loop of not making progress at all. So find ways to be engaged and hold yourself accountable, and also holding yourself accountable in a positive way. So say that you've accomplished everything that you've done and met your goals consistently over a couple of weeks. If you've been wanting this really nice dinner or some type of pleasure, treat yourself to that, so you know and you can make that connection within your mind that when I do these actions, it's correlated to something positive within my life. And those small treats will be able to motivate you on top of your defined why reasoning. There you have it, guys. The lifelong learning meaning, the lifelong learning motivation, consequences, why it matters, and all the steps to change. I really had a lot of fun making this video because it's a topic I enjoy talking about, and I think I will expand on it in future videos. So if you found value in this, please like and subscribe, and also comment down below what your favorite takeaway was and if you have anything to add to this. I hope you go out there and achieve everything you set your mind to, and until then, I will see you guys next time.